I just made it in time.
Nice,
I
nice. Perfect.
was like sitting down. 1 second left. Actually, oops. Actually, I need to close my door, so I didn't quite make it in time. Let's go. There we go. Haha. Now.
Nice, nice, nice.
Yay. That was amazing. And we did it. We did the 3-roll score. I feel achievement unlocked.
Amazing. Absolutely, 100%.
I feel like social scores have that possibility where you're like, you just need to convince somebody to agree to something. They can absolutely spiral wildly, but this one, we sort of, kept it.
Yeah, nice, nice, nice.
Jimmy, should we remove that clock of the vessel is claimed from penance, or does the house still? Yeah, okay.
It's still there.
Leave it there. Yeah, I mean, we're probably gonna go back to the house someday.
Remove a clock. What?
Someday, I mean, sometimes clocks are only germane to a score, right? Like the alert clock. Are the guards going to see you? It doesn't matter after the score is over. But this one, it felt like
True.
Could go either way. Maybe it's done. Probably not. Probably there's things lingering.
Yeah. Oof. Look at these clocks. Okay.
I know.
They're such good clocks.
There's so many clocks.
Good job, Will.
I forgot about Needle. That was like 2 scores ago.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so did we want to talk about turf ideas? I do have one I could offer.
Please.
So I was thinking an apothecary that specializes in those really weird things that rich people like this will increase, your ability to do this or to do that. Like they're all like, none of them are real. None of them work, right?
The Viagra store.
Yeah, I was thinking the word Viagra. I just didn't say that.
Sorry. You have more class.
No, that's okay. No, that's okay.
Yeah.
I was doing my typical GM thing of like, I'm thinking of a modern day word, but I'm trying to find a way to describe it without saying what it is, right?
I feel like artisan apothecary, or like maybe there's a better term for like things what rich people really go for, but
yeah. I already have, and so that person who's in charge of the apothecary is also your handler. So it's your turf, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they're there to like handle the front end of the store and keep an eye on you, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it leads down to a really expansive set of like rooms in the basement, right? Mm-hmm. And it's one of those things where like I'm gonna say like it's an apothecary. I'm basing this on a real place. I know here where like, so it's an apothecary in the first store, and then when you walk past, you're not supposed to ask where it is, you're just supposed to know. So if you walk past a certain door, then you get to this particular like it's something like a drinking establishment, right? Like it's a coffee shop by day, it's like a bar at night kind of situation.
Yeah.
Day doesn't really exist in Duskfall, so when it's a little less dark. And then once you go, and then there's another door, you also once again cannot ask about it. And then when you go past that, that's when you get to all these secret rooms that you have access to.
Love it.
Right. Yeah. So I'm going to say that your handler's name is Julian Roth.
Cool.
So
does not sound like a Dimmer sister. Sounds like somebody who works for their sisters, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to put him in the NPC tab that we have. So Julian is a very dandy looking young gentleman, has a waistcoat and has something like a plague mask on top of his face and this wide brimmed hat. So but yeah, very, very fancy looking young man. Pleasant enough, a little too pleasant, right? He only refers to the Dimmer sisters as family.
Love it.
So the family asked me to check in on you along those lines. So he helps you move in and everything.
Nice, love it. We'll throw up. So our Julian.
I love that.
Yes. And just in case folks mixed it, this was the Stalker's form before it took Penance's form.
Mm-hmm.
NBD.
I didn't say that in the beginning when recapping because I had forgotten it, and I had
Yeah.
forgotten it again until now. So now I'm going to say I'm blocking it out because I don't even want to know.
Yeah.
I mean, I do, Jamie. I want to know. Awesome. I love that.
Awesome.
I love
Awesome.
our
So we have our
apothecary.
turf. Yeah. Absolutely. So I have a feeling that Penance and Julian will get along quite well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, we gotta give it a name. We gotta give the shop a name, right?
Oh, the apothecary. Yeah.
It feels like since it's all these places, like it needs I feel like I could use a name that like conveys that, like the arcade or the apartments, or like something that kind of gives this sense that like there's lots of things that go on there. Does that sound right to you, or do you want to like name just the shop itself?
No. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. The arcade sounds nice, or the
Yeah.
flower garden.
The
Ooh,
flower garden.
I like the flower garden. I mean, I could have suggested Rose Apothecary, but that's a Schitt's Creek reference, so never mind. The flower garden is perfect.
Oh no, I think we broke Sean.
Sorry, Sean.
Ew, David. I love Schitt's Creek
It's so good.
with all of my heart.
Yeah,
And yeah.
it's excellent.
Oh,
All right,
this is so cute though in the chat. The Miscellarium, very cute. I'm gonna steal that for another game. Okay.
Ooh,
The Miscellarium.
that's a great
very
name.
nice.
Whoever suggested that.
I feel like that would be more of like a trinket, sort of like odds and ends. Like when we get the turf that is like the inventor shop here, and the like weird Deathland scavenger baubles there, and the like Spark Tower here, that is 100% going to be the Miscellarium.
Yeah. So we already have a place in mind for the next turf.
Oh yeah, I want that turf. Yeah, absolutely. So it didn't quite fit in the description or in the field, but I just crammed the field on the sheet, on the crew sheet, so you can kind of like barely see it. That I replaced turf with flower garden, and then I wrote apothecary shop, Julian Roth, owner handler.
It's perfect.
So
perfect.
just put all of that little detail in that sheet. So nothing we'd forget. But.
Nice. Love it. Okay, so do we have an idea for what we'd like to do for our downside? We have a lot on our plate.
We got a lot. Oh, I have another thing I want to ask for, Jamie, because I like asking for things. And I welcome you to say, like, no, Sean, you can't do that. Can't have it. I think we should get a free fortune roll where we can roll the Dimmer Sisters tier to add to Penance's Look for the Whole Clock. Because you said, I need you to help me do that. That's a clock, and until you've done it, we can't actually do the score to get it. And I feel like if they're actually exerting their efforts towards it, that should be demonstrated by adding ticks to that clock. Does that feel?
Yeah. Yeah, I thought we filled that clock already, but yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I asked for it.
Yeah. No. I think that totally makes sense.
Yeah, you're halfway through it, and it feels like it should just basically be a free down. I mean, it's not even a downtown action. I think it's a result of the score.
The deal. Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, I think that makes sense. Yeah, so let's do a fortune roll based on their tier. The Dimmer Sisters are tier 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that because of this amazing Roll20 thing where it's just conveniently right there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to roll, let's see. I'll roll a fortune roll. I don't actually know where to roll from it. Like, I'm not using... the crew sheet.
Any sheet, we'll have a roll fortune button, the crew and the...
Yeah. I think the crew sheet would be a good idea. Okay, so roll fortune, 2 dice. Let's see.
Nice.
5. Nice.
2 ticks.
Yeah.
All right. I just added 2 to your clock.
Ooh.
So we're on 2 away. Feels like a thing you could wrap up this
yeah, and I think the way that this happens is that the next time you come in Penance, so I'm imagining the door opens, you hear the bell swing, right?
Mm-hmm,
it makes a sound. The place is packed with all these glass jars and flowers. It's very like reminiscent of what was going on in that room, except less sinister at this time.
Yeah.
With the same terrariums and everything. And except Julian has a thing for skulls, so there's like an entire like level that's just like different skulls behind him. And when you come over, he just slips this piece of paper towards you, and he says, "The family wants to let you know that they've looked into things, and you'll find this information most useful." And so they've been able to like narrow down where it is. Like they've crossed off places on the map where it isn't.
Yeah,
right?
I was just gonna say it's a map, and they've crossed out. Yeah,
Love it.
Perfect. We are in psychic sync.
Speaking of maps, Kristen, Jamie, where should we put our flower garden?
Oh,
on the map?
that's right.
Because I love putting little
perfect.
pins on the map.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So Dimmer Sisters, Klein Apartments. I kind of like, where would it be?
It's in Brightstone, correct?
Yeah.
That's
I think
where
it'd be. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if it's closer to like the docks or the Blue Coats precinct. Like maybe like closer towards where the Klein Apartments are by the river. Does that make like close to where the B is? Yeah. There you go. Perfect.
Nice. Yeah.
Love it. Oh, sorry, I wasn't sharing with everyone on stream, but there you are. So now we see the flower garden, and it's very quickly going to be the case that there's. Oh, why is my Roll20 clicky thing not working? Oh, well, there it is. It's very. I'm very sure that we will. Just because my Roll20's decided to freeze up. Fun.
Oh, nice.
I'm very sure that we will just pollute this map with so much stuff that.
Make your claims.
Yeah, I may also recolor all these pins. I've been using pins sort of randomly, but I may very well like go back and
color code them. Yeah.
Color code. Yeah,
I haven't figured out like how to do it yet, so it was just like other crews were I don't know. We'll see. I'm not color coded at the moment, but I can always change it. Yeah, I love it, and that way we're close to Mateus without him, without being in his place, without. It's really clear that Ankh does not like her dependency on Mateus. Do you have ideas for downtime actions?
Yeah, I want to close out. How many ticks are left on that clock?
2?
Just 2.
Yeah, I'd like to attempt to close out.
It's in your grasp. Yeah.
And so I think what that looks like, since I have a map that shows the places that the hall is not being held, or the plans, or whatever we decide is in there that's required. I think that it's maybe like a hunt or a survey. Basically, Penance is going to check out the other areas and see if she can narrow it down and find out where the hall is.
Can we go on a stakeout together?
Oh yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, that's right. We should have our moment to like, because y'all have been through a lot. So
we have
been through a thing.
We have not talked about things.
We have not talked about things.
We have not talked about the now 2 attempted stabbings.
I think we're on a route. The second one was definitely not aimed at you. I mean, it was aimed near you. It could have.
Very close to the heart.
Very close to the heart. But like, the first time I absolutely was going to kill you. It's I think we're on this like rooftop, and we're looking down at the streets, and we're watching, and we see like one of the Arcbenders with their signature masks, and they like go into some place, and we're waiting for them to like leave it because we know that's just like a shop that they visit, right? And so we like this is where they go in, but it's not the place we need. We've already scoped it out. We're gonna watch them go back to their actual lair, right? Like this is our chance. We've been waiting for so long, and we're just waiting, like, as you do on a stakeout. And it's raining, and we're kind of like under a tin roof, and so you hear that the pattering underneath us. And Ankh says, have you thought about who you're going to put in it?
I think Penance takes a sip of her mushroom tea through her straw, since she has her plague mask on, to buy herself some time. No, not yet. One step at a time.
I mean, there's a
Yeah.
lot of takers.
Hmm.
Julian wants it for Jasper. Clearly, the Dimmer sisters want it for their children. Children.
Yeah,
I still don't know what those are.
that's weird.
But it boggles me that you would create such a thing and not have an intent to give it life. Or not have it, not intent, obviously you intended to, but like not have a plan to give it life.
I think just the option of being able to give it life is all I was looking for. It doesn't really matter to me who or what goes inside of it.
But you'd be okay shoving something inside it and binding it to your will.
Of course.
Okay.
Do you have ideas for what we should put inside of it?
She sort of looks up above you. She says, "I wouldn't mind seeing your new friend have a. I wouldn't mind seeing your new friend have a body to ride that isn't yours."
And Penance, when Ankh says that, there's like a bit of that laugh again. I see that she wears jealousy quite well.
I think that Penance like stiffens up a little bit because I think she's being honest. I don't think she thought of.
Mm-hmm.
There's been so much going on, and I don't think she thought of what to bind to the hull or how to give it life. And she certainly didn't think about Athea because she's quickly grown accustomed to having Athea with her. And so the thought of splitting up has not crossed her mind.
Mm-hmm.
But I think she says, perhaps when the time comes, but I need more time with Athea first.
You know how that goes. We all do. I think Athea wants more time with you.
I think Penance like feels like a tug in her gut. Like I think she knows that that's true. That like her desire to not split from Athea, needing more time. Like if she took a second to think about it, more time for what? But she doesn't want to think about it. So I think she kind of like just like brushes it off and says, I have no reason not to trust Athea.
She wrinkles her brow like you have every reason not to trust a ghost that wants to harvest the life of the living, but she doesn't say anything. She just wrinkles her brow like
I think though after saying that, Penance asks what you said to Lily about me not being a bargaining chip. Did you mean it?
I think before she even answers, Penance can tell that she's extremely conflicted about this answer because she doesn't know even how to answer it honestly. Or she doesn't even, she says, in the moment with her. Yeah, I meant it with her.
But you might. Go ahead.
No. I think she just said she doesn't have any other word. Yeah. Please feel free to follow up.
Yeah. I'm trying to say, yeah. But you might let me be a bargaining chip for others, just not Lily.
I mean, I don't know how I could honestly tell you after I tried to plunge a dagger into your heart. And I was just going on not faith, going on conviction that it would work, that I wouldn't, and if the situation was right, and if something needed it, that I wouldn't sacrifice you. Just as I think you couldn't tell me that if you needed it, you wouldn't sacrifice me. There's everyone has a sort of there's a particular macabre thought that I have that I want to articulate.
Mm-hmm.
Under the right circumstances, anyone will do anything.
Yeah, I think Penance thinks back to the first gang that she met up with that she thought would be family, and then it wasn't.
Yeah.
And nods in agreement. I kind of think that's when we should have the Arcbender come out. Like, I kind of think that, like...
Yep. That's perfect. I think that's such good timing. Yeah, let's make a roll. Make a roll. So is this survey or hunt? I mean, they both seem totally right to me.
Same. I agree.
And do you want to lead it, or do you want me to?
I'll lead it. That's fine.
I could just give you an assist. We don't need to be a group action. Okay. It could totally be me giving you an assist. And I think my assist is in the form of I've paid off, not with like small. Maybe it'll turn into Bitcoin if we roll poorly and we need it big. But I've gone down and already paid off a bunch of people. We have like a bunch of lookouts that like I've already gone and talked to that are like going to give us the signal. So like somebody comes out right before the Arcbender does and like whistles. And like that gets our attention, and like a few people in the various streets are planted. Sis, hold my tea. Nice.
I saw that. So funny.
Yeah. So I've got a couple people, a few people on the street that are acting as lookouts.
Nice. I have a dot in survey, and I was using survey. I mean. In part, yes, because I have a dot, but it also says survey a location to understand what's going on. So I feel it's pretty accurate.
They're both really applicable right now, I think.
Yeah. So I have a dot in survey, and then you're assisting. So 2 dice, right? In my fortune roll? Okay. Just making sure.
Perfect. We could not have asked for that one extra die.
Take it.
Yeah, because that is 2 ticks.
That's the ticks.
That does it.
There we go. And so I think what happens is it's not just any Arcbender that comes out. It's Jessica, right? Mm. So you see that she's still favoring her shoulder from that fight with Athea last time. She walks out. She like pulls her coat around her, and the rain is starting to come down a little more. The fog is like rolling in, but you clearly see her. You're able to follow her from the rooftops. I think the two of you, and you're able to like keep an eye on her. She obviously tries to go. She's trying to throw off people. She's going in different directions, but eventually, she settles, and yeah, that's exactly when you find their particular I'm looking at the map. I'm thinking it's probably I like the idea that it's what are we thinking? Are we thinking Crow's Foot or Six Towers? What would be more interesting?
Crow's Foot is like Crime City, right? It's got the grinders, the billhooks, the crows, the lampblacks, the red sashes. It's just
like
turf war, mm-hmm. Right? It's a big mess. There's the old Crows Tower that the Crows claim, but only kind of barely. And so lots of gangs go in there. It's dangerous to go into just like by virtue of all that threats, right? Mm-hmm. Six Towers is old, decrepit, rotting mansions, a few of them still occupied, like Rowan House, most of them filled with squatters and things like that. I kind of like Crow's Foot just because it sort of positions them in like it feels like a more threatening place to approach to me, like because it's not our turf. And it also sort of seems like Penance wouldn't set up shop right next. Well, you don't know where they were, maybe. So yeah, maybe. But yeah, so I'm leaning slightly towards Crow's Foot, but they're both cool. All the districts are cool. What do you think, Kristen?
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of like that because then we have all these people we could run into if we have to go back here for some reason. I'm all for possible challenges or tension. So crow's foot sounds good to me.
Love it.
Right. And so by being in Crow's Foot, it also shows how ambitious they also are. Like they're taking on
Mhm.
other crews and stuff. So
I just dropped them somewhere on Crow's Foot, but feel free to move them if you have an idea. The only location
that's good.
Crow's Foot that's notable is that one right there. It's
Mhm.
the Red Sash's Sword Academy.
Okay.
I've spent a stupid amount of time playing this game and looking into like poring over the maps because Ryan Dunleavy has done like a really high res version of them, and like they started putting things there. And you don't want to like fill up your world with like too many things. Like in your game, that could be anything, right? But
Yeah.
in my heart, that is the Red Sash's Sword Academy because
In my heart, I love it.
Awesome. Okay, so now we have the location
nice.
of their hideout and where they're.
Can it be
where
one of
they're
those
keeping
places like the cutscene in Peaky Blinders where like there's this ridiculous like sparking coming out of like a machine shop right next door,
Mm.
you know? And so
Yeah.
because they're called the Arcbenders, right? There's got to be all this stupid Sparkcraft stuff. By the time we get there, we're like, duh, of course, like it must be. You know, they've concealed it, but like we can see all the like artifice that they have going on.
Yeah, and I think as you're about to leave, Ankh, you're already ahead, like scoping out the way out because it is dangerous territory to make sure you get back safely.
Yeah.
But Penance, you hear the back of your head. Athea said, "There he is. Look behind you." And when you move your head, you can see like coming out of the location is the hull that you saw in the carriage, and he just like slips in with everybody else because he looks completely human.
Next score, baby. We have a score. We absolutely have
There's a score. There it is.
We're stealing a hull. 1 hundo. What tier and hold do you think the Arcbenders are, Jemmy? Or have you not thought about that?
Yeah. I think they have to be pretty powerful because
I feel like they're not
they've
a tier
been
0
using
schlubs like us, right?
Mhm.
They got to be up there. If they've made a hull, I mean, I don't think they're like tier 4 or 5 because
Like
that's
3,
like the
maybe?
most powerful gangs, but like it feels like 2 or 3. 3 weak, 2 strong. I don't know. Somewhere in there.
Are the Dimmer sisters 2?
They're 2 strong.
Yeah, and they feel powerful. So yeah.
Like most gangs, the most common, every gang in Crow's Foot is 2 weak. The Grinders, the Bellhooks, the Crows, the Red Sashes, because they're all fighting with each other all the time.
Yeah.
So they can't like. They're all trying to like get up. They all want to be tier 3 so they can claim all of Crow's Foot, right?
Yeah.
Like that's kind of the goal. Whoever does that is going to effectively got all the gangs underneath them, but none of them have done it. The Crows ostensibly do, but after Rorik died, it's been really.
Yeah, they have a new leader, right? Because Rorik was murdered, and now he wanders. His ghost wanders.
Yeah, so Lissa, his number 2, who totally didn't murder him, but she totally did murder him, is now.
It's fine. She didn't do it.
Anyway.
I love this gossip so much.
Yes.
We're just nerd out about blades. Okay.
So
yeah. It's so good. Yeah, I'll say they're tier 2 strong.
Nice.
Cool.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah,
That
it feels. I don't have a cool like icon for them in the like I do all of the blah 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 all of the existing factions because those are like fancy rollable tables. But I did go into the faction status place where I also am tracking it, and I put them in there. So and I'll increase our faction status with the sisters.
Nice.
I don't think we have any faction status with them though, right? Because they don't really even know of our existence. They don't like Penance, but they don't know of us per se. Cool. All right. I would like to train with Penance. I think this is a cut to later on. A cut to later on when we're back in the sanctum, and we've got like a little mini electroplasmic generator, and like it's just like got like a single spark. Like normally lightning barrier would have tons of them, but like we just have like 2 little electroplasmic generators, and I'm like, and we've got like a pair of lightning hooks. I've got my like very little delicate one, and then like a stand, unless you've gotten like a cool one as well, but like we have like a standard, center like hook. And I want to show you that like trick I did where I like arced the lightning around us when we got into the Dimmer Sisters home, because I feel like we're gonna have to create like an electroplasmic cage to wrap the hole in. Like who knows if this is actually going to be needed, but I want each of us like to grab a tine of the forking electricity and to kind of like control it. And so I want to train in effectively a tune, but like it's like understanding the electroplasmic energy. And I think I'm going to lend you I can't give you my family spirit mask. I feel like maybe you have a spirit mask, or maybe like we can borrow one from the Dimmer Sisters or something like that. But like you need to be able to see it as well. Like that time when you touched me and you could like feel all the pressure. I'm like, this is going to suck. Like this is going to like give you a big old headache, but you really want to get you like able to see all the spectral energy, because I feel like we're going to need it when we try to like trap this. And who knows what's in it? Like we might have to remove the ghost from it. Like I don't know. So I want to spend an action training. If you also want to spend an action training, I think that's super cool. You could just be my companion in this, but
no, I like it.
Cool. All right, so I'm going to mark 2 Resolve XP because we have Resolve trained, or we have not Resolve trained. We have advanced training in Resolve through our crew.
Cool, because we're both training in a tune, correct?
Yeah, generally, I mean, it's you don't train in this particular action; you train in a general attribute. But I'm calling it Resolve because the idea is to training montage. Exactly. So it's this kind of like lobbing of the energy back and forth, and it's super fucking dangerous. I think like we're all like kitted up in like grounding gear that looks vaguely like the anchor gear that Sophia wore, because like if you miss it, like electrocutes you. It's like it's bad news, right? It's set on like the lowest setting, but it's still pretty dangerous. And I think we're trying to like see the energy, see the frequency, the spectral frequencies that it's on, and sense them, and
excellent.
I love that.
And while we're doing it, at one point, I'm going to say like, Ankh isn't my name, right? Like it's just something. It's what I use. It's the name that people call me. But if I had, what's a frequency penance? Thank you, Roger. What is it? Yeah, totally. There's definitely dialing the frequency, changing it so we can practice. I'm like, if I had arrived in Imperial City with like a proper Ministry of Preservation customs agent, they would have been able to pronounce my name, Ankayed. But I didn't. My family should have sent me to Imperial City, but they sent me to Duskfall instead. And I went to the docks, and someone at the docks struggled over my name so much that they finally just said Ankh and scribbled me in. And it just kind of stuck, it works. It's not who I really am, though.
Who are you, really?
My name's Isha. Isha Ankayed.
Would you like me to refer to you by that name?
It's probably best if you don't. Ankh gives me a level of anonymity. And if my family were to hear what I was up to, they approve of my ends, but certainly not my means. A friend of the family has expressed their disappointment when they bailed me out at the Blue Coats precinct. So not because I dislike the name or because I want to, just maybe in the criminal underworld of Dustfall, perhaps it's best if people continue to know me as Ankh.
Okay.
Did Did your parents name you Penance?
Yes.
This is all a setup to ask you about your name.
Uh-huh. Oh, Onk. I thought maybe there was a moment of vulnerability, but no.
I mean, she told you the truth.
I know she did.
Yeah.
She did. I mean, at least Penance thinks she did.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think Penance says, my parents did name me Penance, but if they had named me another name, then I would tell it to you now.
Thank you. I guess I just wonder what they thought you had to atone for. I mean, that's a name. That's a choice.
It
feels like a lot of weight to give your child. It's like a lot of expectations.
Are we talking to Penance or are we talking to ourselves? Oh, okay.
Both. Yes.
I'm just wondering.
I mean, Isha absolutely means like the chosen one who'll bring light to the end of, like Isha absolutely has connotative meaning, but yeah. But Penance is more on the nose, right?
Yeah. I think maybe Penance tells you this memory because she doesn't speak of her parents, right? She's been orphaned.
Yeah.
So she doesn't speak of her parents, but I think that she just shares a memory of there wasn't a lot of weight put on her. And she had a fairly happy childhood. And so I think she just recounts a holiday with them and baking, just something really simple, but still shares. And it's a true memory. As far as Onk can tell, it's a true memory. But then she kind of just closes back up.
Nice. I think Onk ruins the moment, or maybe not ruins the moment. You could say, but I think she says, that sounds like a lovely tradition. I don't fancy myself ever going to Tykeros, but if I did, I would love to see the holidays. I bet you weren't wearing your mask for it.
I think Penance just walks over and turns the dial up on the frequency.
She wants to see Penance's face, but of course she's not going to ask for it. So anyway, that was Onk's socially maladjusted way of trying to connect with Penance. It was genuine. She's just not very good at it. She just doesn't know how to come at people without having an angle. She's not good at sincerity.
Yeah. And I think that Penance wants so badly to connect and be sincere. And so that's why she shared a memory, but she also is so untrusting and so concerned based on everything that's happened over the last few years, right? She's trusted once. She doesn't want to do that again.
Didn't work out. Now her hull is walking around.
That hull.
Awesome. Cool. You have another downtime action in mind? At this point, you've done 2 if you decide to train with me. But again, we got oodles of coin.
We have to spend coin.
I mean, kind of, yeah. We should spend at least 2, 4, 7. We should spend at least 3.
I mean, I should attempt to reduce some of the stress before we go into the next score. So I could I could spend coin to indulge a vice.
Yeah. Yeah, you got a lot of stress there.
I know.
Seems like a good idea. What's your
Salia?
Weird with Salia. That's right. I passed out last time. Jamie, remember I had no memory.
That's right. Like Salia was so excited for you, and yeah.
Oh,
let's see how it goes this time.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I
think sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to ask what I roll, but I forgot there's this wonderful little indulge vice button here.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
Make sure to. Oh, never mind. She's not a contact. Sorry. What were you going to say, Jamie?
Oh, no, I was just going to say, I think this time when Salia comes over, they're a little like, I decided, considering what happened last time, we'll go a little easier on you. Maybe we'll try another place, right? And they take you to, so Salia, like as we've established before, is a spirit, a what's the term for it again? A
reconciled.
Reconciled.
There you go, a reconciled,
Yeah.
who's like, in different bodies. This time when they come by, they're in like a really tall gentleman's body, right? Like this one looks like and walks like a noble. Like you recognize, like you can tell a noble from a mile away, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so with that, Salia like leads you to this place in Brightstone, right? And so it's where all of the nobles come to hang out and have some fun, get possessed in a safe way, totally normal, totally not a crazy rich person thing to do, right?
Jamie, that is so accurate. That would 100% happen. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm in these social circles where I used to sort of like kind of hang out with people who are far richer than me, so I've seen what they're like. So,
yeah. Well, ghost essence is
tracks.
totally a thing, right? You take a ghost, you carve it all up, you shave off its memories, its fears, its feelings, like that. So I could totally see rich people being like, "I'm just gonna like sniff a little ghost essence. I just want like this little bit of someone's life. I don't want all their tragedy and all their shit. I want their sex life, or I want their rage, or whatever. I could totally see them like sniffing on ghost essences as they just carve up these undead creatures. Yeah.
Oh, these nobles.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But yeah, and as Salia comes in, like you see them waving at some people, and you realize like Sally's waving at other people who are inside these nobles. Like,
oh, saying hello.
Yeah.
Question: is Athea around for this nonsense? I mean, typically you can't be possessed by two ghosts at the same time. Is she willing to make room for Salia, or does Salia have to keep to her own body? And you
I think Penance, as you start to worry about that, right? Then you hear Thea say, "No, you're strong enough. It shouldn't be a problem. There's a reason why we're working together."
Oh my god. All these multiple spirits in one body. I'm here for it. Okay. So
let's see how the roll goes.
Let's see how it goes.
I mean, that's weird in all in of itself. Just the idea of like having two spirits. Yeah.
Can you have a devil's bargain on a downtime action?
Yeah, we did that last time, I remember.
We did. Okay, so what if, I remember you saying at the beginning of the session that I could tick that clock for Athea?
Yeah, at any time.
Okay, so I'm going to give myself a bonus die.
Nice. I will tick the clock. She's now
Thank you.
3 out of 6 ticks in control.
Ooh. Okay.
It's okay. Lots of ticks.
Yeah, it's fine. We're only halfway there. Okay, let me see. So 1 bonus die.
I love Sean's face.
A 4.
I mean, that bonus die was worth it.
It was worth it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. If we had gotten another 1 again.
Love these bonus die. Okay.
So yes, remove that much stress.
Yeah, I didn't overindulge. That's what I was looking at.
Right.
I didn't. Yes. Okay.
Perfect. Good. Yeah. Super good.
I have to do this and mark 2 again. Okay. Got it.
Nice. All right. And so I think what happens is as you're walking through, so there are these like large, beautiful curtains that are, creating like the idea of rooms and the idea of privacy a little bit, but it's easy to move back and forth. And so as the two of you are walking, there's just a moment when the noble walks and suddenly you don't see him walk onto the other side. And so that's when we know that Salia is now inside of you as you walk forward. Right.
Okay.
And and you're completely conscious for the entire experience where Salia uses your body to go into another room at the back and sits down. And to the outside world, it just looks like they're playing cards, these nobles, right? But you realize that all of these like spirits are talking to each other and they're bargaining for particularly good mortals that they found.
Nice.
That is
But yeah.
cool.
I love the idea that the nobles are being like, yeah, we're peddling in ghosts, and the ghosts are like, yeah, we're peddling in nobles.
Yeah, right. That's so good. Can I ask when we sit down and I'm kind of listening to this going on, I want to see if I can talk to Athea. I just want to say, like, are you there? And I want to see if she'll answer, and I want to see if Salia picks up on it.
Ooh, and so as you do that, you realize Salia doesn't know that Athea is there at all.
Okay.
And so when
Wow.
you reach out to Athea, there's like this sensation that Athea has like claimed a part of your mind in order to protect it, right? And so and what you realize though is that because Athea has claimed this part, this is a part that no other spirit can claim, right? This is a part of you that will be immune to possession, right? Because Athea has created this boundary for you.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so Athea's like, I remember when I used to do something like this. It was really quite fun. It was a way to pass the time.
She's just carving little bits of your mind out.
Yeah.
No biggie.
I
Just
think that-
setting up shop.
It's
Just
fine. I think that at first Penance thinks that it's really cool, and her mind starts like working because she's like a hull for two spirits, and so this could happen, and so she's kind of excited, and then she feels that tug in her gut again of like, but can I get that part of my mind back? And then she like pushes the thought away, and it's fine.
Annie up. Let's play another round.
Let's play another round. It's fine. Oh, very cool. I love that so much, Jamie. Okay.
All right. So what other downtime actions would you like to take?
I'm going to go see my girl, Claudia.
Ooh.
And I'm going to just, level with her. I have a long-term project to make her a contact. And that's sort of been fictionally wrapped around this whole collar that I had been rusting off of her. And I think I'm getting to the point where I'm like, basically, like, I'm ready to break it. Like, I think I'm one tick away. So, I know that this will, mechanically speaking, we know this will work. But, like, I feel like it's the point where, like, the lock is about to break. And we basically just haven't done it because I don't know if there's, like, an alarm or, like, someone will be alerted. And so, finally, like, for maybe the first time, Ankh is kind of real with her, and it's just like, you've never told me. I think that they're out on the docks. I think that they're walking around, and like we're specifically near a canal where basically it's my plan to like toss it, like the moment it comes off of her, like chuck it into a canal and let a bunch of like haunted, like where I know a bunch of ghosts are, like to let them like chew on it or whatever. But I'm like, you never told me who put this on you and what they want from you. I'm consorting with my would-be companion.
And so I have a feeling, like, I'm trying to set the scene, right? I think it's like a safe house, right? And so there's like someone mentioned a barbershop earlier. Let's say it's an abandoned barbershop, right? And so she's sitting in one of those chairs, and all of the mirrors are like covered up by these sheets, except for the one cracked mirror that's in front of the two of you. And so as she leans back and you're like examining the collar, you can see most of it has rusted away, right?
Yeah.
And that's when you realize, like, as it starts to shift, you realize there's something tattooed onto her neck, right, underneath the collar. And she just says, Ankh, I know how much do you believe in demons?
I think that's a great question, because demons like to hold ghosts, are also kind of apocryphal. Like, we have had contact with one, but most people have not, right? Demons are something you talk about, like the boogeyman. Like, maybe they exist, or maybe they're just like a scary thing So I don't think it's like trivial for most people to just be like, oh yeah, I got a demon in my basement. But of course, Ankh is somewhat enigmatic, and she's like, we all have demons. Which is true, but also like a um, inner demons play on words
Yeah.
there.
And I think when you say that, she like grabs your wrist and she looks at you in the eye and she goes, "No, I mean demons that you can touch, that can touch you. Demons that you can speak to and who can speak to you." Do you know what I mean?
I don't know if it's going to scare her or not to show her my horns. It probably will. But she's like way into. She's like way into weird shit. So I think she's on the chair, and I was like working on the lock, right, or working on the last bit, and I look up and I kind of lift her head so she can look in the mirror and see me, and Ankh in front of her does not have horns, but Ankh in the mirror does. So
And when she sees that, yeah, you're expecting fear, right?
Yeah.
And instead, she looks so relieved that she starts crying and she goes, "So you know him. You know Zona." And at that moment, that's when the collar breaks. And she says, "You've given me some freedom, but he'll reclaim me."
And you said there was a tattoo beneath, right? And I kind of like touch her neck softly, sweetly. And I say, "It looks like he's marked us both." Yeah.
And I think, yeah, I think as it fades to black, like she pulls you in for like, one of those desperate, please let's save each other kind of like disaster lesbian kisses. That's what's happening, right?
So I will roll for giggles, but it doesn't really matter because any result is going to do it. Yes, I got the result I needed. I got one tick. And
we had a 6 there, but because anyway, that's okay. That's okay.
Exactly. All right.
I feel like it's appropriate for what happened, though. So
yes, I'm going to add her to my contact list. And I believe we said that she's a thief, but she's like a spirit thief, or she's like a thief, an arcane thief, right?
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes. I love that disaster lesbian moment. All right, cool. Well, that's my 2 actions, but we still have 2 more coin that we got to burn. So
I did 3 technically since I trained with you. So do you want to do an extra?
Right. No. Well, you did, but like that's what burned. Your third one burned one of the 3 coin we need to spend, but we still need to burn 2 more. So
we each take one, maybe.
Yeah, let's each take one. Okay. I mean, unless you don't have any.
Yeah, is there something you want to do?
Both heal or
yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. If you want to prepare for the score, also.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We could acquire assets. You could craft more stuff.
Aren't we 1 tick away from wanted and heat?
Yes, we could reduce heat.
I mean, I still have.
I know Sean's face is like, whoops.
I still have level 2 harm terror.
Yeah.
Which we did a short score this time, so it didn't totally come into play. I kind of think reducing heat before reducing harm. What do you think?
Yeah, sounds good. I kind of like the idea of you holding on to that terror as long as Athea's with you anyway. I mean, she's what caused it.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So.
That's right. I agree with you. I think narratively that works really well. Okay, so I'll spend coin to reduce heat.
Cool.
And the heat on us is still the Dimmer Sisters, right? Is that most of it?
Oh, I think a lot of it is also the spirit wardens, right? Mm-hmm. Being like, what the fuck is going on with the ghost field?
Yeah.
What is happening in this area?
Heat is usually tied to like law enforcement. It's just it's general, right? It's like how much the Bluecoats notice, how much the inspectors notice. But it's also like how much other gangs are like, oh, somebody's moving up. So it doesn't. An entanglement might come from the Dimmer Sisters, but it's sort of just like an ambient thing. You can reduce it any way you think. We can hide our activities. We can pin it on somebody else. We can,
Do you want to produce it together? I mean, just at least narratively, so it's something
Sure.
else that Ankh and Penance are doing kind of together before
Yeah.
the next score.
Yeah. Yeah. If you asked Ong, she'd be like, "Well, we should kill two birds with one stone. We should bottle two ghosts in one spirit jar." Is the way she would say it. Appropriate to all the discussions we've had.
Yeah.
We need heat off us and the Arcbenders, and we need something to distract the Arcbenders. They've got a hole I know they shouldn't have. There's no way on this black rotted planet that the nobles of the ministry or the spirit wardens would be okay with them owning a hole. They're like totally illegal if you're not a noble who has rights to have one. So I think we could definitely spread word that they're the ones causing all of these spectral excursions, all these spectral anomalies, and reduce heat on us and cause trouble for them at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
let's do that.
Sweet. I would be inclined to use sway because it's outright fucking lying.
Yeah, we're lying.
100% sharing rumors about them and trying to get them to,
yeah.
And if you want to do it as a group action, I can lead it and take stress because I'm about to relieve stress after this anyway.
Can we say, or unless this is already something that's been created and I'm going against lore, but is there some sort of recording device in Duskfall?
Totally. We have gramophones. I mean, I think the recording device would literally look like some kind of big contraption that like has like a big old earphone and like, pins poking things and some like crank or electroplasmic gear. Like I imagine it's big and ugly and whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I just like the idea that in addition to, if we get our assets or anyone to help us spread the rumor, I like the idea that in like a couple of places where people gather, Penance has set up one of those devices that's kind of whispering the rumor, just so that as people walk by, it seems like it's a conversation they're overhearing, and it's really just another way for us. It's probably only like 2 more spots.
Right.
But that's something Penance.
I'm just imagining like us like sneaking up to some like gramophone player and like pulling off the thing and like pulling off the disc and like putting on our disc, that has this thing.
Yes.
And, like, planting
Yes.
things. Yeah, love it.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm all for it.
Sway, correct?
Yeah.
Or it could even be Tinker because
what you're doing sounds like Tinker, right? We could basically both take an action if you wanted to. Like we have a lot of heat, so if you want to like say like this is 2 downtime actions, we definitely need to spend.
Well, we need to spend the coin, right?
We need to spend the coin, so I'm happy to do it. Why don't I go first? Only because I feel like I'm making up the rumor, and then you can see how much you amplify it.
Perfect.
All right, so I will roll sway. It's a fortune roll. All right, I got 2. I got a 4, so that's going to remove 2 heat.
Okay.
And that'll cost us 1 coin to do that action. And I think I'm spending coin in the form of essentially like literally paying people off to like be like, yeah, pass it around. Like I don't want the blue coats to have heard it from, or the spirit wardens to have heard it from us directly. That's the whole point of reducing the heat, is that like I don't have to like actually say this in front of somebody that could come down on us. So it's bribes and things like that.
Nice.
And I imagine you need parts and all that stuff for
yep.
Stuff. Yeah.
Okay. I have 2 in Tinker.
All right.
Is that 1?
That's 1. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's 1 more.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's still something.
Yeah. You can buy that up with coin, but I mean, I feel like.
No, I mean, honestly, it makes sense narratively. Like Ankh made up the rumor and Penance is doing what she does best, which is just kind of tinker with something to amplify the rumor. So I think that's perfect.
Love it.
I love it.
All right. So that uses up all the coin we had to spend.
Okay.
But I'm going to spend 1 more coin to take a Indulge Vice don't have action. Because...
Nice.
So the question is, who wants to go get high with me?
You can take Penance to get high.
Yeah. You want to go to Joel Burdenshine with me? It's on a seedy part of the docks. I think I'm going to take Claudia as well, because it's clear that she's, we just had some time together, and I have the most raging headache. I've had it for ever.
Days, yeah.
Ever since I arrived in Dustfall, but it's been really, really bad since going through that door. And I'm just like, I need a detox. I need a detox from the ghost field. So like the spirit mask is left at home. All of my spirit jars are far away from me. I'm getting as far away as I possibly can from ghosts. I'm nowhere near the canals. Joel Burdenshine, I think, is like up on the second floor on the docks. It's over the ocean. It's next to the Void Sea, where hopefully where nothing. You get saltwater air and perfumes to mask the smell of bodies and other things. I'm totally down for the three of us going and sampling a little bit of Dream Smoke.
Okay. Is this the first time Penance and Claudia are meeting?
Yeah, I think there's some tension there. Like Claudia just keeps like looking at you, looking at Ankh, and going, so how long have the two of you been working together? And what the subtitle is, have you been working together since Ankh and I broke up? Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And Ankh is extremely non-committal in this way of like, yeah, no, we are 100% a thing. That I may also 100% be a thing with many other people, and I am not going to say any of those things. Like, you can believe any of it. Like, I'm not going to commit to saying that we're in a relationship, let alone that I'm not in any other relationships.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think Ankh answers any of those questions. I think Ankh is like talking to the maitre d' and like getting us a nice table and just letting you two get to know each other. So you could feel free to answer Claudia away.
Oh my God. Sorry, this anime popped into my head. Okay. Yeah, I think Penance answers just, I don't think she feels a whole lot of jealousy yet. I think she's kind of feeling this out. But I think she just says that we've been working together for, it feels like forever now.
Right. And she looks at you and she looks at Ankh again. There's a way that forever follows that girl.
Oh, Ankh.
Nice. And I think that there's a short bespectacled man with just a tiny bit of hair, and he's dressed like not it's a suit, but it's like a very worn, weathered suit, but it's clearly like been tailored to him. And he's lived in the same suit he's worn every day for many, many years, and he's got a little tray, and it's got all of these various pipes and powders and things like that. And this is Tamaz, and Tamaz is will like lead us back into a room and sort of set things up for us. And I envision this as like it's not super delicate, it's not pristine, but it's all set up like a tea service. Like, you sit here, and like I will prepare these drugs for you. Like, you could just do them. Like, you could just light up, but like we put like Joel Burdenshine. This is the shine part of, right? Like this is the polish, right? That we get. You part these silk sheet dividers, and have those plush cushions, and they like get all of your things ready, and kind of like also like kind of get a sense of like, how smashed do you want to get? Like, how are we feeling today, right? They're not going to get anyone like wasted or hammered that just wants to get a little hot, hot.
Yeah.
This is consensual place, right?
Love it.
Ankh wants a lot, and she's just kind of keeps nodding her head as he's like taking little tiny teaspoons of powder and putting them into a pipe. And I think maybe he says something like, "So the usual then." And all right, let's roll. I'm going to indulge vice. I'm doing it with a friend, so I'm going to take plus 1d. Ooh, that was the one number I didn't want to roll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
These sixes can't think you're the worst time.
And I overindulge.
Not a surprise, though.
Not a surprise at all. All right, when you overindulge, what happens? Oh, look, I've got this very cool little downtime thing that I am staring at but not seeing. What are options? I could attract trouble, roll an additional engagement. I could brag about my exploits, get +2 heat. I could be lost, play a different character until this one returns from their bender.
Ooh.
Or I could be tapped. Your current purveyor cuts you off. A new source of heat.
Oh, wow.
Those
are excellent choices.
Those are excellent. I'm going to be lost. I'm going to disappear, and next session I'm going to play Grounder, the Railjack Whisperer, who is coming in for this score to help you out because Ankh is not available.
So this is where Penance is like, this is what you get for trusting Ankh. She let you down when you needed her.
Yep.
We're getting the hull. You're going to disappear when we're getting the hull? Oh, just wait till Ankh comes back. Just wait.
This is the life of crime. Sometimes people just disappear. They go on benders. I think me and Claudia are gonna be if Kristen, if that like does not sound as much fun to you, I am totally happy to pick another one. But I feel like it's like I'm looking at this thing and I'm just like, to me, it's between that and brag. Like I don't think I'm tapped. I'm absolutely not.
Yeah.
Penance Ankh doesn't like mess around in Jolt Watershine. She's not gonna like piss them off. We could attract trouble. That would be fine. It just doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't.
We're already attracting so much trouble naturally just with our choices.
And it just doesn't feel like the kind of thing that we do going to this. So just because I absolutely want to do the thing that's funnest for all of us. Like, so bragging totally makes sense. All that heat we just got rid of, I could just be like, yeah, we totally went to the Dimmer Sisters place and took over their house and we. Like I could just all that stuff that like I had not told Penance, I could just blabbing it where everybody could hear, like about my excursion, and Penance hears the whole story, and we get +2 heat. Or I go on a bender, and
I vote for the bender because that would mean that Athea would appear that much more loyal.
Yeah. I have to say, I also would vote for the bender. I hadn't thought of that yet, so good point, Jamie. Right. But. That's just I love that. We're playing on hard mode. So
and maybe I won't play Grounder, maybe I'll make another character, but like I have another character I almost played.
Yeah.
The Whisperer. Like maybe I'll make a cutter or something like that. I don't know, something fun. Like we're gonna go get a hull. Like I'll play like somebody who's like, I can grapple a hull, or I don't know.
And I'm sure we'll flesh all this out, but do you think this is gonna be someone that Ankh sent, or do you think Ankh has just totally abandoned Penance? And Penance is going to find this. We'll have to flesh it out because that's an interesting one too.
Yeah, they're both cool. One is Ankh is like, sorry, I got to peace out for a bit, and
but I'm giving it at least this much thought versus and both are honestly both are interesting.
Right, so I could totally see somebody from the Red Sashes or like an Aruvian, somebody coming up and just being like, hey, I'm doing a family friend a favor. Like that would be cool. So many possibilities.
I know. Exactly. We're down the rabbit hole already.
All right. Ankh is gone. And that cost me a coin because we had spent all of the excess coin we had. So I think that's good. And when you come back from missing a session, your stress is gone, and my stress is already gone, but your wounds are healed. So Ankh will recover. I don't need to recover. That's one benefit of losing your character. That's that you lose a character, they get to recover from they come back fresh. So,
Nice.
yeah, I think what's the story?
Yeah, do we
I
want to
think,
roll into XP or did we want to do another downtime action?
yeah, I'm going to spend 1 coin and train in prowess to say I spent some time fencing, and then that if I decide to have an Eruvian friend help, that will explain that, or it can just be a standalone thing. So I'm going to train prowess as well, and that's also kind of code for like training fencing at the Red Sashes Academy is also sort of code for Ankh, like reporting it to our family about our progress.
Ah.
So maybe she disappeared because she was high, or maybe she disappeared because her family had plans for her. I mean, she disappeared because she was high, but so that's good for me. I don't think I need anything else.
Yeah, I'm good to move to XP.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool, very cool, very cool. All right, so do we want to do crew XP first?
Yeah, let's do crew XP.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. All right, so with crew XP, our question is, did we advance the agenda of our deity or embody its precepts in action?
That's a good question. I think we did because our deity wants to free all these demons, and I think that we are definitely using the Dimmer Sisters as a leg up to get access to nobles and whatnot. Like they have the Nicoletti family. I don't think we like super nailed it in like direct action, but I feel like we're building towards it. Yeah, I think so. I think we should get 1 XP for that.
I was going to say 1. Yeah.
Does that feel right to you, Jamie? I see you nodding. So cool.
Yay.
Totally.
Did we contend with challenges above our current station?
Oh,
yes.
Yes.
I feel like we did it twice. I feel like we did it when we dealt with the Stalker, and he was some super powerful ghost. I feel like we did it with the Dimmer Sisters.
Yeah.
And like facing them off. And I also feel like we did it with the like demon. Like they have like one house demon. Like that's most places. So they have like another one, a Zaz, right? Like that's, yeah. I think we did it twice.
Yeah.
Right. What's the next one?
Let's see. So the next one is, did we bolster our crew's reputation or develop a new one? I think we are very ambitious and daring.
I think so.
I think that's 2 XP going like, yeah, we're going to go do this and we're going to demand turf and money. So.
Yeah. Yes.
You're going to stop fighting us and you're going to give us things. And
Yeah. Makes sense. And then the next one is express the goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of the crew. And I feel like that happened in spades.
I feel like we did that so much. All of our like kind of heart to heart, like figuring each other out conversations.
Yeah.
The fact that you just were like, yeah, I'll make that deal. I'll give you the 4 ghost hull thing. Like,
yeah.
I'm on it. So
yeah. And I also really love the whole this is the time when Ankh was really trying to open up and get closer to Penance, and then suddenly she leaves. So
yep.
Yes.
I honestly think there's so many layers to this. Part of it is clearly she's high. Part of it is she's wants to spend time with Claudia. Part of it is maybe she's reporting back home. Part of it is also feeling vulnerable that she opened up as much as she did, and now feeling the need to recoil. Like, oh, I share too much. Now I've got to be like unreliable, so you don't ever like get used to. I don't want you getting used to thinking that I'm emotionally available.
Right.
You gotta see that like, don't ever rely on me to be the shoulder to cry on.
Yeah,
I'm not that person.
It'll be interesting because I think that Penance is gonna feel that it's a direct result of her opening up. Like she opened up and now that vulnerability.
Oh,
Small
no.
bit of vulnerability has been
scared Ankh
rejected.
away.
And I think she's going to go in, like, I don't know how, we'll have to figure it out mechanically off air, but I think she's going to go into the next score a little unhinged from this. Like, there'll be an effect. I'm so excited.
Love it. Love it. Love it. All right. Cool. Let's do penances XP.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds good.
Let's see.
Yeah.
I just had my questions. Oh, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Did you address a challenge with technical skill or mayhem? Yes.
Yeah, several times.
And also, can we say the downtime actions count? Because
absolutely.
Okay.
Downtime action is this game.
Yeah, there was the spirit bomb. There was setting up the little control up players with the
the record. Yeah, so I'm gonna say 2 for that one.
Yes.
You express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. I mean, I expressed my background like specifically to Ankh.
Yep.
And then my drives by making that deal with Lily without even glancing at Ankh. So I think 2 for that one.
Same.
And of note, you're putting them in the playbook advancement track right now.
I am.
Which is fine. That's totally cool. But you can put them in any track if you want to advance.
I started this when we played Court of Blades because I was confused. And so I track them here and then I move them if I want.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I do too.
That's what I do.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's what I do. Yeah.
I just wanted to make, because sometimes I think
it.
people are like, the only way to get XP in those things is to train or do desperate actions, which are fine. But like there are.
Yeah. I like how you can move it around. It's very cool.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But thank you for telling me, because it does kind of look that way, the way it's set up. Yeah. Last one. You struggled with issues from your vice or traumas during the session. I didn't call. Oh wait, did I call on Athea once? Because that's my only like.
Yeah. You did.
Yeah, you called on Athea once. I specifically was like, you could get rid of Athea, and you're like, no, mine. I was like giving you the out to be like, you could not be possessed by a ghost.
You're right.
And you're like, no, I'm not ready for it. And also, I feel like in indulging your vice, you realize that Athea is actually carving out like a piece of you, and you're just like, I guess I'm okay with, or I guess I'm tolerating that. So I think it's both your vice and your trauma came up here.
Okay, good point. Okay,
so I think you should take 2.
I'm gonna take 2. Yay. Okay.
Get your advance on. All right.
Oof.
Let me do Ankh. All right. Did I address a challenge with knowledge or arcane power? Hell yeah. We used this door. We trained with spectrology.
Yeah.
We basically used all this leverage over the Dimmer Sisters of like, I got your dagger, I got your demon, I got the knowledge of the House Nicoletti's, political machinations. I think I used knowledge and arcane power a lot.
Agreed.
You express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. Same thing. I told you about where I was from and like how I got my alias. And I took on because I was like, whenever someone like gets a call sign, they never get to pick it. Someone just calls them like, "Hey, Fruit Loops," and like now that's your name because you were wearing like a shirt that had lots of colors on it, like Fruit Loops 2 or something like that. I think I shared my heritage, my background.
Yeah, and I think something to remember is like the fact that one of those beings you're after is with the Dimmer Sisters, right?
Yes, yeah. So I'm gonna pull in my beliefs there as well because it was very like important to me, my background and all that stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna take two for that as well. And did I struggle with your vice or traumas? Yes, I did. I struggled with my vice because I did too much. I also struggled with my trauma because I am cold. I have a hard time opening up to people and connecting on emotional levels. And you're like, did you really mean I'm not a bargaining chip? And I couldn't just say, yes, I really meant it. I had to say, like, in that moment, I meant it. Like, it was so, like, I couldn't bring myself to just, like, give you a merciful lie. Like, it would have been so much nicer to just lie to you and just be like, oh, no, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
But, all right, cool beans. That fills up my track, which I may steal. I'm probably going to redirect and maybe put some action dots in other stuff, but we'll see.
I think both of you could manage to like get an ability and a dot if you wanted to. I know Penance can.
Yeah, I think so. Ankh just filled up my ability track, so I could do that. Or I could fill up both my resolve and my prowess tracks and put it on each of them.
Oh yeah, true.
We'll see.
Yeah. Stuff to talk
Nice.
about. What a lovely score we
So
got.
good.
The Flower Garden. You are now Sister Lily. You now bear the mantle of Sister Lily. You're gonna make a hull that can hold multiple ghosts.
Yeah.
But the sisters also believe he can make a mother hull, so I'm just gonna put that back there.
I know, right? You keep saying that, Jamie. You keep bringing up that I will remind you that I resisted that consequence. So even if they want it, it's not part of the deal.
I know. I'm just teasing Penance.
Yes.
And I believe in her.
I love it. It's so good.
That's what it is. It's believe.
Yes. Well, and we got a crew upgrade. Oh, on that note, we each get 2 stash because our crew upgraded. So,
okay.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
We're getting slowly out of the complete impoverished state. Yeah. Well, friends, thanks everyone for hanging out with us. This has been amazing as always. I absolutely love this game. I hope it's fun to watch as well. We relish so much in each of these moments. We try with the scores to really like jump into the action, but like with downtime, it's just too delicious to be like, I don't want to just be like, yeah, I ticked that box and it's always like, how's this? What's that? It was also one of my wishes for this game that Ankh and Penance have some one-on-one alone time, and so we carved out time for that too because I wanted to see them get closer or not, as the case may be. So yeah, I'm Sean. I use he, him pronouns. You can find me everywhere at Sean Nittner, and I'll be playing. No, I'm not playing anything because we're skipping Traveler this week. So this is it for me this week. But on the channel on Thursday, Naburo will be playing, and there may be a Saturday game too. We'll see. So yeah, I'm just real excited to play more of this. How about you, Kristen? What's going on in your life?
Yeah. Well, this game is what's going on in my world. I love Penance and Ankh and this story so much. And I don't know if we said it on air, but Jammy's NPCs, I mean, come on, these NPCs, they're glorious. So anyway, yeah.
They are. They're so sharp. That's what they are.
They're amazing. Yeah, I'm Kristen. I use she, her pronouns. You can find me on Twitter at Kristen is no Jedi. I have a new announcement. So it was announced yesterday. I'm going to be a co-host of a new live stream called They're a Super Geek. It's at TasGeek, TAS Geek on Twitter. So we're an actual play one-shot live stream. We're going to be highlighting marginalized voices, featuring gender marginalized GMs specifically, and a rotating cast. So we will have our first game on the 17th. And this Thursday, we're announcing our GM. They're marvelous, and you'll want to hear about it. So I'm excited. Nice. But I'm also excited to hear more about Into the Void, which I think has like 31 hours left on Kickstarter. Oh,
yeah, I should refresh that page and look.
Tell us all about it.
Where we are right now. So so once more, Into the Void is on Kickstarter. It's the last few days of it. And so basically it is a game of a crew coming together one last time to face impossible odds, except there's so much tragedy and the heartbreak in their past that they have to get through. One of the things that's giving me life about it recently is that the illustrator of our cover, Adrian, they started up a game with their friends just recently, and they spent the entire session just on the recruitment montage. So good. and they sketched up the characters, so that's really cool. My browser is like acting up a little bit. Let me try to open it up here on another one. So currently we have 32 hours left, and we're like over 1,000 backers. Would be cool if you could check it out. I also want to stress that we still have an unlimited number of community coffee PDFs, so you can get the entire game in finalized PDF form for only $1 when it comes out. And we still have quite a few of our community copies, print and PDF. So normally it would cost $50 for that, but we have community copy versions that are only $10 plus shipping because of our very generous Galactic tier backers. So I really encourage people to check out the community copies. So yeah, thank you so much.
Very, very exciting. We just played that. If you would love to see an actual play of it, we have it on the channel. If you go to our YouTube channel, it was so much fun. Our characters were had storied histories, and a lot of that came up. And yeah, it was a great game. So very much fun. Yeah. Anywho, thank you all. And we're gonna go off stream now. But we will be very excited to see you again in a couple weeks.
Yeah, see you all.
Yeah.